Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 5 of Unleash Your Inner Betas. So, today we're going to talk about something every one of you experienced multiple times. That's when you feel like you want to quit, or you get into that funk state where nothing is fun anymore. You're questioning, did you make the right decision? Was it worth it? Should I just go back to my comfort zone? I was making okay money. My life wasn't that bad. And you desperately want to quit because what you're going through is very uncomfortable. Sometimes it's painful. Sometimes it's not exciting. And you're just wondering, what the heck am I doing? So if you've been in this situation, which I'm pretty sure every one of us been there, let us know. We want to talk to you. What you might do to get out of that state and get your spark back, get your excitement back, get your energy that creates and attracts back, because that's very important. So, who
Yeah.
wants who's been there? Brandy, have you been in that funk?
Yes, I've been there. In fact,
When was the last
just-
time you've been there?
I'm just sharing this to my page because we couldn't fit mine on there, so that's what I was doing. Yeah, there's been a lot of times that I've been there. I can think of, let's see, the recent one would be this morning when I didn't feel good and I didn't want to do this live. So here I am, right? So what do we do to get out of that funk? That's a really great question because there's a lot of different things that we can do to get out of that funk. Number one, we can remember what we got started for, right? And that a lot of people call this the terror barrier. That's like a word that Bob Proctor would use for this. Is you've burnt the boat, right? And now you're out in the middle of the sea and all of these waves and everything are like coming in the boat and you're like, this isn't fun anymore. And you know, you're just kind of like drudging through. You're like doing the do, right? And it's sometimes it's not fun. And the only way to really get out of it is to serve other people and take action is what's worked for me. And sometimes you have to like take care of the human first. Like that's one of the biggest things too, because for me, I'm a person that just continues to hit that brick wall thinking I'm going to break it down any minute, right? That's how I'm going to get the bigger hammer and I'm just going to go at it harder. And sometimes you exhaust yourself and you're missing what brings you joy. So you have to kind of figure out where the joy comes from and do more of that along with doing things that you don't love, right? So
And I think sometimes it's important to just take a step back and realize, like, recognize that you are in a funk. Like actually recognizing where you're at and thinking, oh, okay, all right, this is where I'm at. I'm in a funk right now. Okay. You know, maybe thinking, okay, what's got me here? Have I burnt myself out? Have I been working so bloody hard, burning the candle at both ends, maybe not getting enough sleep, not doing the things that actually fill your soul, not doing the things, because you can't serve other people. You can't, being an entrepreneur is hard, and to be, always feeling like you are empty. You can't fill other people's cup if your cup is empty. You have to fill your cup first. And so sometimes it's just like, okay, let me just take a step back. Let me take a 30,000 foot view and think, okay, what's going on here? And okay, you're in a funk. Honestly, I felt like I was in a funk today too. I didn't feel like working today. So I have been watching, is it called The Night Watch? I've been watching The Night Watch on Netflix. I just I've been watching that. Why are you watching this shit? Because yes, I woke up with a headache as well too, and I thought, yeah.
You maybe feel like that's your way of unwinding, but
and I just needed to
puts you more into
not think. I needed to not like this needed to just not, and just like
not to think about your problems and just
it's
appreciate
like
them when other people have
turn it all off and do. And that's really one of the issues, right? And Michael has a really great question. What is the joy you speak of? So the joy you speak of is different for every person, right? So you've got to identify what brings you joy, right? For me, it's being outside and gardening and like getting sunshine and beaches and, things like that. And it just snowed another foot here yesterday. So, it's like you've got to figure out a way what your joy is, because it's different for Fran and it's different for Kat, right? Like everybody has their own things that bring them joy. I like to read. I like to, I like to be outside, read, sunshine. I like to be around my
I like to
family
be
and serve
outside
other
too, but it's
people.
absolutely pissing down here with rain. It's been pissing down
Same here.
all day, all day.
We
So
had
let
fun.
us know in the comments, what are things that bring you joy? What are the things that fill your cup up? That
For me, it's usually little things that we tend not to pay attention to because we're waiting for that big bang,
Mm-hmm.
right? Big promotion, big money making thing, big trip, big whatever. And we lose those little moments that are around us every single day. Like I don't know, like in the fall, I like the sound of leaves under your.
And the smell. Yeah.
In the spring, I like the smell of blooming certain trees, and it's like brings you back to older memories. Like, or when I'm making, my kids call it mom's cake, they can smell it,
Oh, it's
and
so good.
and they're like, "Oh, we're having mom's cake." So just there, I just do make it for their reaction, not even for eating part, right? Just to like surprise them and see smile on their face. Last night, so my daughter is in college, away about like 3.5 hour drive, and I used to dread going to pick her up because it takes 8 hours out of my day, gives me pain in my back, and it's just not, it's just you lost a day of your life just driving. But I want to see her, right? So I used to do it almost every weekend. But she finally got her car, got parking permit, and she took her car. And yesterday I was talking on the phone to her. I was like, "Do you want to come home for the weekend?" And she was like, "Nah, I have some stuff to do, blah, 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 blah." 9:30 p.m. the doorbell rings. I'm like, "Who the heck is here at this hour?" She showed up at the door. Like I was like, "Oh my God." I was jumping like a toddler at Christmas.
That's
Like,
awesome.
this is what's so cool, right? And I was like, and I didn't have to drive 7 hours to get you. So double joy. Anyways, I want to kind of like share with you something that might help you if you tend to get in that funk and you don't know, what even to do with it. And sometimes I used to have them very often, and sometimes it just sabotages your business, your personal life, like your mood in general, and then it becomes part of your personality.
yeah,
So
Slippery slope.
I just want to let you know that it's totally normal for us humans to go in those places, right? But like Fran said, very important is to recognize it. And then my mentor shared with me a concept of seasons of life. And those seasons can be applied not just to your whole entire life, but let's say a project that you are doing. So, for example, you're working on, I don't know, putting up your first podcast. So the seasons are spring, summer, fall, and winter. And what majority of people do, they get excited about the new thing, right? It's spring, like new beginnings, new action steps, new expectations, anticipation. It's the beginning of life, spring energy. Like we crave it, we love it, and we want to be in spring all the time. But spring is exhausting. It requires a lot of new energy,
right.
right? So then we move into summer. That's when we kind of like almost harvesting the fruits of our labor. So all the action you took in spring, summer comes, it's almost ready to pick the fruits of your labor, like the results. And it's more calm stage. It's more like appreciation stage or waiting stage. It's there, right? It's coming. Then comes the fall. The fall, it's actually when you pick up the harvest and you getting ready for winter. Majority of us, we hate fall and winter. I mean, I love fall in, but I hate fall of my
Business
life,
part.
right?
Yeah.
That season of my life, I hate fall and winter, and we tend to skip it. So as soon as we get to the summer, we want to go back to the spring, right, and experience it again and again because it's exciting. But we are given winter to have time to reflect, to have time to work on ourselves, like Brenda said, to fill up our own cup, to replenish those resources and energy and your sanity. That's what we need winter for. And a lot of times we tend to identify it as a funk state that we need to get rid of. But in reality, we have to stay in winter to get ready for next
the new spring. Yeah, you've got to build up that energy, right? And
because if you constantly jump from spring to summer, you're going to exhaust yourself, right? It's like when I say that, like I have that 9-week-old puppy, he jumps like up and down, and then he just
falls over,
falls exhausted and sleeps like a log, right? So that's what it reminds me like. But when you keep jumping like this, that's exhausting. So we give in winter for a purpose. And if you're not going to try to skip it, sometimes we will need to sit there just to reflect, observe, and be aware. Well, why I'm in this winter? Maybe you're grieving, not necessarily a death of a person. You can be grieving a completion of the big project, right? That you had success with or didn't have success with. So you're grieving the end of one phase, and we need that winter and we need that time to replenish our inner resources so we can go into a new spring. So let me know, guys, if that's landing somewhere with you.
And you could also be grieving. Okay, let me put this out there. You could also be grieving the loss of your past self growing into your new self.
Yes.
Okay. And so that's a big one that you could actually be, reflecting back and recognizing the growth that you've been through, but also it's a grieving process that you've lost that person and you are now this new person, okay, that you have grown, that you've developed into, that you have blossomed into, okay, through the spring and the summer, and recognizing that.
I think that's the key, right? Is to become aware of where you're at in the process. Because a lot of us, we're in that winter stage and we're like, what's wrong with me? I'm in this funk. I don't know what's wrong with me, right? And we just like spiral. We get stuck in this story. Like I suck. It was so good last week, or, when we started this. And one of the things that I notice about business owners, about people that are building and network marketing entrepreneurs, is that they jump from company to company looking for that high of that spring and summer. And it's very
the shiny object.
It's shiny object syndrome. It's, because, you get into your business, right? Like Kat's saying, it's exciting. You have new hope. And I just actually was talking to a friend yesterday, and this is probably, since I've known her, probably the 8th company she's been in, like just starting over, right? She's looking for that high, that next thing to keep in that energy, building that energy, and, that spring energy, that summer energy. And it's dangerous because, jumping from company to company, you're never going to stay somewhere long enough, or jumping from business to business to, a different idea to a different idea. You don't stay long enough to ever build actual foundation and build a real business. Like if you think about, Kat, when we built Beach Boss, right? We were so excited, right? Like when Kat talks about that spring energy, man, we were working like 24 hours a day, all of us. And we loved it. We were like in it, right? Like we were like, let's go, let's do this, right? We were so excited. And then we hit that winter stage where things, we had to come in and like put team in and different things to, run different things, to help with operations, to do this, to do that. And it wasn't that much fun at that point. In fact, a lot of us were like, I hate this. Like, what have we
I signed up for?
This is what we do.
I want to be a manager. I want to be a creator.
Like, what have we done? This is the craziest thing we've ever done, right? And so when you look back over the 3 years that Beach Boss has been in, 3, we're in 3, right? We just passed 3. I was thinking, is it 4? No, it's 3. That, it's incredible what we've been able to accomplish here. But at the same time, you can see those seasons and we could have easily been like, you know what, this sucks. I don't want to do this anymore. We're in the winter stage and we're out of potatoes to eat. Like, we need spring to come like now. We could have just like been like, we're done. This isn't fun anymore. We're going to go do something else. Right. But you got to know where you're at. You got to become aware of what's going on.
I want to bring a point that Brandy shared. So we recently signed up for a high-level mentorship program with other people who are a few steps ahead of us. And what they shared, so it was total social media strategy course, but in the first couple videos, they shared a mindset block that most people are going through. And I was like, holy crap, they're talking to me. They were talking about that excitement that we're looking for, that high, right? And we tend not to only jump from one business to another, one company, another. Courses, we buy one course, we're like, oh, this is getting kind of boring, or I got this. Let me buy another one. Let me buy another one. Let me buy another one. I've done it so many times.
Yeah.
Or even in our business, we start working on something, we get it under control, it's rolling, it's going, and it becomes boring. And we're looking for the next project. Like, oh, what else can we do? Right? Oh, I got the idea. And that's usually me, right? I have an idea because I get bored very quickly. I lose that excitement, and we crave it. Like, we get addicted to that excitement feeling. And what they said, if you came to the point where your business is boring, that's when you're about to become successful, because it's in those daily boring, I call them unsexy things, that you have to do day in and day out. That's what builds your character, your discipline, your commitment, your will, your everything, right? And we tend to be like, oh, that's boring. Let me find another project.
Yeah, I got to go do something else.
You stay in this project until it's over, until nothing needed out of you, until everything runs without you, right? On autopilot, or however, maybe you sell it and you don't have it anymore then. So that's what they say. If you're in that boring stage, that's where majority of successful people are developed, in the boring stage that no one else wants to do. And I was like, dang, like I have to slow down my mind, and I have to just do what most of us don't want to do, right? Because it's boring, and like, oh my gosh, like I have to make another post, I have to do this, I have to do this. That's what success is about, to stay in the game long enough, do boring stuff, and be very competent at what you do from that repetitive, boring task. So that was a very good point, that we need to remind sometimes ourselves that not every good idea that comes to your mind needs to be, what do you call it?
Built.
Developed right away.
And I think we need to remember, and most of us forget, that building a business, whether you're building a brick and mortar business, or whether you are building a network marketing business, or whatever you're doing, is that it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And you think about watching Usain Bolt. You think of Usain Bolt, like super sexy 100-meter, like and if people think of that, or running for 4 or 5 hours, like it's the sprinters that are the sexy ones. But
look at the marathoners, they're all sweaty, they're all like look like they're about to die, but
I know, and they're skinny, they're super skinny, whereas the sprinters are like big muscly. But building this business, it's not going to happen overnight. And yes, you've got to get into that rhythm. Okay, you've got to get into that rhythm and just keep going and keep taking one step after the next. Okay, keep fueling the journey. So making sure that you're surrounding yourself with people who will help you get there. Okay, that you're taking the action steps in order to get there. Not only the steps, but also fueling your body in order to get there, so that you're fueling your business in order to get there. I don't know if this is making sense, but it's like a bit of a roundabout. Yeah. But it's super important to remember that it's not an overnight job, and those overnight successes didn't happen overnight.
No, I think that's the key. Is a lot of people look at, like, if you look at my journey, for instance, right? I started this journey online in 2016. It's now 2023. So how many years
Yeah.
did that take,
Seven.
for us to cross that 6-figure a month, thing that we always wanted, right? Like a lot of years. It's not just, and I think that's really, really hard for a lot of people to understand. And I see this in our kids too with social media. Ridge came to me last night, and this is so funny because he's in 7th grade, and he struggles with reading. He struggles with understanding what he's reading, and his attention span is like 0 to nothing. Like I'm not even joking. 0 to nothing is what we got going on, right? He wants to be building and doing something. He's exactly like his dad. And he came in last night and he goes, "Mom, did you know 90% of high school dropouts are millionaires?" I'm like, okay, if you think you're dropping out of school, I got something coming for you, right? Like, I was like, we are not going down this road. Like, there is no way, right? But he's been taught that, like, conditioned, right? Because of what he sees on, online and YouTube and, the gaming and all the things that he's doing. And I just sat back and thought, we're all like that. We are all like that. We see that success on social media, right? We see somebody crossing the stage and we're like, what the hell's wrong with me? Like, why can't I do that in 5 minutes? I'm sure that only took them 30 minutes to go do, right? And it's that microwave society that we are, it's just the way it is right now, right? If we don't get our Amazon in, 24 hours, we're ticked off. Like, like we're like, where's my order? I mean, do you guys realize how long it used to take to send a package, to send a letter? I remember when I was in 6th grade, I had a pen pal in China, and we sent, I would wait for those letters. It was months and months that I would wait for those letters. And I'm sure she was doing, the same thing. She would send me pictures and, it was like this pen pal thing. And now if we don't get the email right now, we're pissed off, right?
We don't get a reply in the next minute. We're like, oh my God, this is annoying.
So you have to remember that it takes time to build a business with a real foundation that pays real money, with real team members, with, that is going to stand the test of time. It's not something you can build in 30 seconds. That's like a house of cards. If you can build it in 30 seconds, it's coming down in 30 seconds, right? Like you just have to remember that. And we have to check it every day because I'm the same way. I'm so impatient. In fact, our COO yesterday said to me, you should do more operations stuff because I'm running this organic thing we're doing inside of Beach Boss. And so I got on the meeting and, he's like, I didn't realize that you had that skill. I'm like, dude, I have 6 kids. Like, like I had to learn how to be an operations manager, right? You have to have everybody doing their thing, and you have to run the household, and you got to have enough food and money and, projects and kids running every direction, right? And he's like, well, maybe you should do more of it. And I said, here's the problem. When people don't do what I want them to do, or when I've told them once, then I'm pissed off. So I'm not so sure that that's the best idea,
You're
right?
Going to fire everyone, and
I'd be like, you're fired.
Again.
Because that's how I am with my kids. Like with River, she's so fairy-like flitty. She's very flitty. And so I'll be like, River, brush your teeth. And she's off doing something else. I'm like, 10 minutes later, River, have you brushed your teeth? Doing something else, right? With the dog or whatever. I'm like, River, have you brushed your teeth? Finally, I'm like, River, go brush your damn teeth. Like, now, like right now. So yeah, we just have to be aware of what's actually happening and what, where we're at in that season and sticking with it long enough. So
and also get ready for many winters.
And
your journey to success, commit to the long run, several years, right? It's like it's true when they say we overestimate what we can do in a year and underestimate what we can do in 3 years. So basically, where you want to be in 1 year, average person gets there in 3 years. But we beat ourselves up because we didn't get there. We think it didn't work, and we quit and move on into the next project, right? And we start over and start over and start over.
You're building that bridge halfway, and then you're taking it down, and then you're building a bridge again and taking it down.
So if you commit to a long haul and get ready for many winters, you will be successful a lot faster than you think you will. Sometimes you even will get to the places where you couldn't even dream, right? In your business or your life. That's like me. When I was a kid, it was even not in my imagination the life that I live right now. Like it was not possible for that kid. And it's just amazing how your life can turn around and change everything.
I have something I've got one thing that I want to share with you. So if you are feeling like you're in a funk and you can't get out of it and you're beating yourself up and you're feeling unworthy and you're feeling blah, I can't think of a better word than blah. Go to 2 or 3 people that you know who know you well and ask them to pour into you and ask them to tell you, you know, what they think you're good at. Ask them to tell you, you know, what they think that you're amazing at. Go and ask them and draw from that to start lifting yourself up and start lifting yourself out of that funk.
Basically, when we get there, it's your body's way to tell you, hey, I need attention,
Yeah.
right? You've been running all this time and we're out of gas. So I need your attention. I need you to fill my tanks up. And it's either self-care or like with us beaches, we're like our each own accountability buddies. When one is down, all other ones are lifting that person up, right? So find that person that can lift you up, pull you up out of your funk when you're going to get there and fill your cup, because that's very important to have that support. It's not always was not always easy to fill it up by yourself. You have to go sometimes to other people, right? Your community.
Yeah, and if you're in the academy or 7-figure,
Yes.
you know, draw from other people. You know, surround you. It's the people that you surround yourself who are either going to drag you down or going to lift you up.
That's an important point as well, because, you know, sometimes we think, oh, well, I don't have that support system. I don't have 5 ladies that, you know, I can get along with. It doesn't have to be.
Go find them.
Yeah, you go find them or
Find
attract
one.
them. But you don't. It doesn't have to be actual physical people. You could surround yourself with people, you know, online that are on the same journey as you are. You could listen to podcasts, read books, you know, things like
Watch
that.
our podcast.
Yeah, all of that stuff where you can surround people, you know, around people that are on a journey to move forward. We've shed a lot of different people in our journey, and it's, you know, some people are here for a minute, some people are here for long term, and some people are here for just a season, right? Maybe it's winter, maybe it's summer, and maybe it's spring, but you know, you have to surround yourself with those people. And I saw what is his name? Steve Harvey yesterday. I was watching a quick thing on Facebook that I saw. And he said, you know, you don't have to like totally withdraw from your family, withdraw from those people that, you know, you've been around. But if they're dragging you down, if they have no goals, if they're always bitching about the politicians and they're bitching about the world and they're bitching about the news, and, you know, those are not the people that are going to help you get where you want to go, right? Figure out what energy you want to be around, figure what energy you want to be, and then find those people and calibrate to those people, whether they're online, whether it's podcasts, whether it's, you know, before I found Kat and Fran and Carrie and, you know, all of my beach people here, it was, you know, I was surrounding myself with podcasts, with, you know, different people online that thought the way that I did, and I calibrated to their frequency. That's what happened, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, it doesn't have to be your neighbor, you know, it doesn't have to be a physical person in because I know that's a big thing for people. They're like, well, I live in a city and I don't know anybody, or, you know, I just know my coworkers because, you know, I work in this huge office building or whatever. And you've just got to be aware and go for it.
And that's
You
the
can
beauty of
find
social
your
media.
tribe, create it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Create it. And that's exactly what I did, right? Like I started doing all that, and then, you know, Carrie showed up, and then Kat showed up, and then Fran showed up, right? Like, and then Adrian showed up, and then, you know, it's just crazy. But
You
I changed
attract
me first.
people with the same energy.
I changed me first. I changed my energy because I was in that, you know, working all the time, and, you know, had no real, like, is this it? Like, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, is this it? Like, Nate's going to work 4 freaking jobs, and I'm going to work, 10 hours a day, and I have these 6 kids that I have to take care of by myself, and we can never go on vacation because we don't have enough money at the end of the month. Like, this sucks. Like, is this all I have to look forward to? Like, imagine if I was still there in that space. I could have stayed there, right? Kat could have
A lot
stayed
of people do.
in
A
her
lot of
funk.
people
She could
stay
have stayed there.
there.
Fran,
Yeah.
same thing with being a dentist, right? Fran didn't love it. She could have stayed as a dentist because she's like, well, I paid all that money to go to school and I've put all this time and energy in it. I guess I'm stuck being a dentist. You're not a freaking tree. Move. Right? Like,
Exactly. And so watch your energy and watch the people that you surround yourself with. Okay. And yeah, like Brandy was saying, if your family are dragging you down, be aware of the fact that when you are around your family, okay, that your energy is going to be dragged down, so you can protect it. So you can be aware of it, and then make sure that you take steps, when you are not around them, to lift yourself up and to lift that energy up again, because your vibrational energy it's everything. Okay. It's what's going to bring you joy, and it's what you are putting out to the world. And I can remember thinking, when like I first heard, I thought, that's a load of woo-woo, that's a load of crap. No, it's not.
it's not.
No, I was all the science. I just need the science. I need
I need
facts.
facts.
I need
Data.
the science. I need the
I
to-do
need
list.
data.
Don't give me that energy crap.
And Kat and I'm going to tell you, Kat and I were in a similar situation where we were both in jobs that we were not happy with. And neither of us quit the job, okay, knowing that we could replace our income. Okay.
You just did it. You're like,
we
I'm
just
done with
did
this.
it. We just
figure
thought,
it out.
I need, where I'm at right now is dragging me down so much. I need to get out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same.
And it was a few years before I replaced that income, let me tell you. But again, like Kat, my husband said to me, okay, I've got you, do it. And, again, it was energy. And I didn't realize at the time how my energy was being obliterated. It wasn't even being dragged down. I literally, yes, I
Sucked
was
dry. No energy. Yeah.
I remember when I made that decision, it was scary, very scary, but it was exciting because for just a split moment, I felt like I've already made it. Like, I know that I will be there. It's just a matter of time, right? Few years is a matter of fact. But
again, it's that marathon. It's not a sprint.
a split moment, I felt like I'm already there. Like, I'm already there. And when you create that energy, like, I'm already there and I don't need anything else, you start attracting the thing that you want a lot faster from that energy. So, what we recommend you guys can do also when you are in that funk, and it's okay to be there, right? That could be the winter. Just observing how, why it shows up, what it means to you, what it's trying to tell you, and what are your ways of raising that energy from being in doubt or fear or just exhausted. How to raise that energy intentionally, because it is possible, back to that appreciation, excitement, joy, right? Peace. So, how to flip that internal state intentionally, and it's not that hard to do. So, something we can talk about next time.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us for today's episode of Unleash Your Inner Badass from Beach Boss Influencers. We're excited you are here. Excited. Hope you got some value. Drop your comments down below. Drop your questions. We would love to dive deeper into this as well.
Let us know, if there's something you want us to cover next week, let us know. Tell us, what you want us to talk about, what you want to learn more about, so we can cover it, because we're here to serve you. So let us know what you want to hear, but also let us know what your biggest takeaway has been from today. We would love to hear.
Awesome. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
You guys.